We had a baby a month ago. My jackass of a husband thought it would be a good idea to prank me. Did I overreact? My husband is 27, I am 25, he is into pranks. I know this since we met. He goes too far with his pranks and thinks it's funny. Some of his family members are like him. They either do it together or against each other. No harm in few laughs, but their pranks aren't funny and tend to be hurtful, to be honest. My husband went too far with his pranks a few times, like when he pretended that he forgot the keys to our house after the wedding. Or when he took me to another restaurant for our engagement party. We were supposed to meet the family there, but I was surprised no one came. I found out it was a prank. The entire family thought it was funny. I didn't. We just had our first baby boy a month ago. I really thought that my husband finally decided to focus on important things in life, and he's been helping a lot, to be honest. He goes out to the pharmacy and supermarket, buys groceries, makes breakfast, and takes care of cleaning the bathroom and bedroom. Then he watches our son while I sleep or shower or have friends over. Some of my friends think I'm lucky my husband understands and helps out, unlike others. That's not entirely true. Last week, he stopped helping with the baby suddenly and was looking upset and just avoided me for 2 days. I honestly had no idea what was going on. I tried to talk to him, but he refused to say what was wrong until I snapped. He told me his mom said that our baby doesn't really look like him and suggested that he secretly do a DNA test. I was speechless. He said he did it without making me notice and got the results 2 days ago, and it turned out our son isn't his and that he'll be moving out of the house and will contact an attorney in the morning. I swear I felt a ton of anger and confusion, but I stood there speechless. He said he didn't want to argue nor hear an explanation. I knew something was very off with his reaction because he usually isn't that calm and would definitely throw a fit in scenarios that are serious. I called him a liar and demanded to see the test result that he did behind my back. He stalled until he suddenly burst into laughter. I was dumbfounded. He kept saying that I got pranked and kept laughing at the face I made. He then, after seeing how pissed I looked, started apologizing to me, telling me to relax, it was a prank. Then he said that his cousin was in on it and was the mastermind of this plan. His cousin is a jerk. He is 20 and acts like 13. His parents are suffering from his behavior too. I blew up on my husband for what he did and called him a jerk to think pulling a stupid prank like that is funny. I told him to stop being childish while I'm being exhausted from doing everything alone in those 2 days. He said my reaction was major and told me to relax. I immediately sent his cousin a very nasty email explaining that I'm struggling with a newborn while he's trying to be funny and cruel to suggest something like that. My husband said I shouldn't have lashed out at his cousin, and I told him off after he mentioned that I apologize. To add, I'm not talking to him at the moment. I don't even answer questions he asks me about chores. Since he's now doing the cleaning and cooking, I'm handling our son's care. He complains that I'm overreacting and should just let it go. It's just a prank, but this what bothers me the most. He did apologize several times, but didn't like that I lashed out at his cousin. Relevant comments. Comment: if a guy put me through 2 days of the silent treatment and emotional distress for laughs, I'd be rethinking everything, even without a kid involved. He thinks your distress is funny. He thinks you wondering what's wrong is a barrel of laughs. This is the definition of asshole, and you wouldn't be at all wrong to protect yourself and your kid, who will soon be a target. Imagine him telling your kid you died because he thinks it'll be so funny. OP. He went way too far, and I know him, but never in a million years would even think that he'd do something like that. I can't even look at him after putting me under so much stress thinking it's funny along with his cousin. At least my mother-in-law is on my side, and he didn't like that she berated him for acting childish while I'm struggling alone. Comment: you know your husband, I don't. But before he did it, did you think he would give you 2 days of the silent treatment to set the stage for accusing you of having an affair and giving birth to someone else's child? The point is that his desire to intentionally inflict emotional distress for a laugh is higher than many people would be willing to tolerate. This was directed at you, an adult, and people are horrified. Imagining this directed at a little kid is even more upsetting. Another poster has already shared their experience of growing up with a parent like this. OP. Like I said, I was shocked. I never thought he'd do something like that. He kept blaming his cousin for this idea, and it was infuriating. No doubt it caused me so much stress. I'm still feeling so much anger right now. Comment: OP should relax. Leave the husband at home and spend some quality time at a nice hotel with a spa. Then book some couples counseling before spending one more minute with this moron who doesn't know what a funny prank is. Hint: a funny prank is something each party involved laughs at. No one gets hurt or insulted. OP, I wish I could spend some time to relax and just take care of myself. Enough is enough. Quite honestly, what makes me angrier is that he thinks I overreacted. How he thinks this is not huge is beyond me. He's back doing chores and acts like he doesn't understand why I'm pissed like that. OP, to be honest, as soon he mentioned DNA testing, I knew he wasn't serious. It's the stress he caused me with his behavior. I immediately put a stop to his awful prank and sent his cousin an email to tell him to stop being a jerk and suggesting awful things and thinking serious matters are for laughs. He has no sense of humor, and my husband is worse than him for going along with it. OP. I've already told him I don't want to be dragged in his pranks and to keep me out of it. During my pregnancy, he just kept annoying his own family, and I warned him to not try anything with me because I was already dealing with so much and I couldn't risk my pregnancy, but he's now back to this nonsense and it's not funny. It's ridiculous and very hurtful. Comment. Holy shit. I am shaking with anger for you, OP. Your husband was deliberately cruel to you 4 weeks after childbirth. You are still physically healing from a major medical procedure on top of having to deal with all the hormonal changes of giving birth. This is not a prank. This is abuse. Your husband is 27 years old and taking advice from a 20-year-old, which isn't a problem of itself. You have 2 options, couples counseling or divorce. It is ultimatum time. Your husband has repeatedly hurt you on purpose multiple times and thinks it's funny. Unless you want a child to grow up thinking it's okay to treat others this way, you have to demand change.